In just 10 seconds, Japanese mothers make a child's emotional tantrum end. No scolding, no coaxing, no counting to 3. Just one gentle word, and the emotional storm passes. But Western parents still do not know this. They count from 1 to 3. You threaten to cut TV time. You negotiate with a cookie. Or you helplessly shout, "Use your words." All of these methods fail. Developmental neuroscience exposes one truth. When a child throws a tantrum, the child's thinking brain completely shuts down. The prefrontal cortex, the area that processes logic, follows instructions, and weighs consequences, is completely disconnected. You are not talking to your child. You are shouting at a mass of biological stress reactions. Japanese mothers never make this mistake. They do not try to teach a brain that is shutting down. They end the child's crisis in less than 10 seconds. No yelling, no comforting, no counting. They only use a neural protocol wrapped in a single word. This video does not share ordinary parenting tips. This is a guide that dissects the entire neural structure behind the self-discipline and peak emotional control of Japanese children. You will have in your hands the 5-step process to control every tantrum immediately. To handle a tantrum, you must change the core question. American parents always ask, "How do I make this stop?" Japanese parents ask the opposite question, "How do I help this pass?" This difference determines the entire nervous system structure of the child as an adult. Trying to extinguish a tantrum creates a power struggle. Helping it pass builds a neural circuit of trust. You cannot stop an emotional storm with verbal violence or prohibition. You can only speed it up so it passes faster, with less damage, and creates more neural connections on the other side of the emotion. The Japanese 10-second protocol operates based on a single word, mate. This word translated into Vietnamese means wait. But biologically, it is not a command. It does not mean forcing the child to stop crying right away, calm down, or stop acting out. Ordinary commands create a biological push against the child, making the child's amygdala panic even more. The word mat does the opposite. It instantly delivers 4 safety signals straight into the child's nervous system without needing long explanations. The first signal: absolute presence. The child understands that the parent does not abandon, turn away, leave the child alone, or punish the child for negative emotions. The second signal: synchronization signal. The child's nervous system is in a state of complete chaos. It continuously emits panicked brainwaves to search for a stable signal from the surrounding environment. Your calm voice is the most advanced signal for readjusting your child's emotions. The third signal: time orientation. This word contains an element of duration. It informs the child's brain that this painful state is temporary. It does not last forever. The fourth signal: unconditional companionship. The child does not have to face the crisis alone. The child has a strong witness, someone who is completely unafraid of the child's emotional explosion. The child's body will feel safe first, then the thinking brain will begin to restart. This is why 10 seconds is enough to end a screaming episode. You do not need to speak Japanese to achieve this effect. You can use words from your own language, as long as you execute the following 5 technical steps correctly. Step 1. Change body position. Immediately lower your center of gravity to the child's eye level. You must kneel down or squat. Absolutely do not stand from above looking down. Evolutionarily, the upright posture of an angry adult turns you into a biological threat to your child's nervous system. The act of kneeling transforms you from an attacker into a protective presence. Step 2. Control the sound frequency. Lower your tone of voice as much as possible, keep an even, slow rhythm, and speak more slowly than usual. The warm, low frequency of the voice itself accounts for 50% of the effectiveness of the remedy that soothes the child's brain. Step 3. Issue a single instruction. Say the keyword, wait. Say only this one word. Absolutely do not add any other filler words. Do not say, wait, stop crying, honey, or wait, listen to me. Every unnecessary word at this moment overloads the child's brain in crisis. Leave only one firm and gentle sound. Step 4. Freeze personal behavior. You must stay beside your child. Do not walk away to another room. Do not look at your phone. Do not start cleaning up the surrounding objects to show irritation. Sit still next to the child. Place one hand on your own knee, Absolutely do not touch the child at this moment. Trying to hug or touch the body when the child is throwing an intense tantrum can sometimes overload the sensory processing system, causing the child to resist more strongly. Only maintain visual presence. Steps 2, 3, and 4 need to be coordinated synchronously and decisively. At this moment, you move to step 5, execute the 10-second window. This is where 90% of parents fail. You usually give up and start yelling after the first 3 seconds when you do not see your child respond. The magic of brain science lies in the 6th second, the 7th second, and the 8th second. When you continue to maintain absolute silence, the child's brain will realize 2 things. You will not fight with the child, and you will not abandon the child. The child's emotional storm will automatically cool down because it no longer has a target to attack. The child calms down because you allow that emotion to move through the body naturally. To prove the power of this 5-step system, look at the experimental scientific data. Developmental psychologists at the University of Michigan tracked a group of 200 families who frequently experienced crises with children between the ages of 2 and 5. In the initial stage, before applying the protocol, the average time for a tantrum to end was 18 minutes. That 18-minute period was filled with intense negative reactions from both sides. But after being trained and strictly applying the 5-step protocol of the word MAT, the time dropped in an astonishing way. Right in the first week, the crisis handling time decreased from 18 minutes to an average of 5 minutes. By the 4th week, when the child's neural reflex began to be shaped, tantrums were stopped in less than 10 seconds with a success rate of up to 80% of the time. Physiological measuring devices recorded that the child's stress index and heart rate dropped to a stable level 4 times faster than with ordinary threatening methods. Let's analyze more deeply what happens inside the biological structure of the child's brain during that 10-second window. When a tantrum erupts, the amygdala becomes overactive. It sends out continuous threat signals. The usual reaction of parents is yelling or punishment. This action unintentionally adds more energy to the panic of the amygdala. You are pouring more oil onto a neural fire. But when you kneel down, maintain silence, and release the sound mat steadily, you are creating a phenomenon called co-regulation. Your stable, calm nervous system acts like an external heart rhythm regulator for the child. Your brain waves, through mirror neurons, begin pulling the child's chaotic brain waves toward the same stable frequency. This is why the child does not need to understand the linguistic meaning of the word MAT in order to calm down. The child's body recognizes the safety signal from your body language and tone of voice first. When the body feels safe, cortisol stops being released, the heart rate slows down, and the prefrontal cortex begins receiving blood supply again to restart rational thinking function. Look at the long-term gift of this protocol. This is what most imposed Western education completely misses. Every time you apply this rule, you are training the child how to sit still inside difficult emotions. You are not teaching the child how to push emotions away. You are not teaching the child how to swallow tears inside or pretend to be calm to please adults. You are teaching the child a critically important biological ability, the ability to tolerate and transform stress without being destroyed. This is the hardware foundation of an adult with high emotional intelligence. It is the ability to feel a wave of disappointment, anger, or intense pain in life while still maintaining calm, not triggering wrongful behavior, not falling into a state of paralysis, and not exploding in extremes. Japanese children are trained in this skill through thousands of daily silent moments of the word mate. By the age of 10, the child has had hundreds of practices in overcoming emotional storms on his own. As an adult, the child no longer needs anyone standing beside him saying the word mate. His brain will automatically activate that command for himself. An important question is raised by parents. What happens if you apply this method, but the child still continues screaming more intensely? In behavioral psychology, this phenomenon is called an extinction burst. When you suddenly change tactics, stop yelling, stop negotiating, and switch to the silent state of the MAT protocol, the child's brain will experience a shock in terms of habit. The child will try to increase the intensity of crying, increase the volume of screaming to test whether your new boundary is truly solid or not. The child wants to force you to return to the old handling method of yelling or giving in with candy and cookies. This is a highly challenging stage for parents' patience. If you panic and give up at the 5th second, you will unintentionally teach the child a harmful lesson, that the child only needs to cry louder and mom will surrender. You must hold your body position firmly, maintain your low tone of voice, and continue executing silence. This extinction burst usually lasts only during the first 3 days. When the child's brain realizes that this boundary is unshakable, it will stop sending out tantrum signals because it knows that doing so no longer produces results. To successfully apply this system to daily life, you need a clear training timeline over 30 days. The first week is the stage of establishing body connection. Your only goal in the first 7 days is to control your own behavior. Every time your child throws a tantrum, you are not allowed to make any threats or negotiations. Perform exactly the first 3 steps. Kneel down, lower your voice, and say only the word, wait. Do not expect the child to stop crying immediately in the first days. The child's brain needs time to erase old programming. Moving into the second week and the third week, you will begin to record the child's response time decreasing clearly. The emotional storm will calm down at the 7th or 8th second. By the 4th week, the 5-second and 10-second reflexes have been firmly established in the child's nervous system. The child will automatically stop crying as soon as hearing your command keyword because the child's body has memorized the feeling of safety that this protocol brings. This 10-second protocol is not only a short-term crisis handling tool, it is a long-term investment in the child's brain structure. When you allow a tantrum to move through your child's body naturally under your protection, you are helping the child train the prefrontal cortex to develop exceptionally. This is the part of the brain responsible for a human being's highest decisions in adulthood. Children raised with this protocol will have a better ability to tolerate life pressure, be less likely to fall into states of depression or anxiety, and possess a powerful capacity for self-control. The child knows how to master his own emotions instead of turning himself into a slave to fits of rage. This week, the next time the child begins the daily tantrum, activate this 5-step system immediately. Do not expect it to succeed right on the first attempt. The first attempt is entirely for your brain to practice restraining anger. The second time, the child's response speed will be faster. And by the 10th crisis, the nervous systems of both you and your child will automatically synchronize according to this 10-second reflex. You will raise a child who knows how to master his own emotions instead of becoming a slave to them. Share this video with a parent who needs it today. Press subscribe to continuously update weekly in-depth scripts on practical child psychology. In the next episode, we will expose why Japanese parents never praise their children in the ordinary way and what method they are using to build absolute confidence for the child. See you in the next content.